Hey guys, it's been a couple of days, but yeah. The days of introspection and self-examination continue. Man, the only thing I've been going out for is work, and I've been trying to cut down on my habits. My shadow's habits. So all those things that we do that we don't really want to do, but we do them anyways. We just can't help ourselves. We just can't resist. Those things are things that are attributed to your ego or your sub-self, your shadow, your lesser self. Okay, your carnal base instincts. I need food, sex, sleep, flipping gratification in order to exist, because those are momentary pleasures. They get you through the moment, you know what I mean? They will actually get you through your life if you allow them to, but that's a really, really low vibrational life to live. So basically, we want to live in our higher mind, our higher aspects, our higher attributes, our higher motives. I guess there's totally words for this, but I'm reaching for them. My mind always goes 100 miles an hour, and there are literally no brakes. When there are brakes, it's because my train had derailed. Literally, that's how my life has been going in my mind for 35 years. If my train is going, it's going 100 miles an hour, and if it's not going, or if it appears to be going slow, it's because my train derailed a fucking mile ago. Sorry for my language. I am working on that. I'm trying to be unapologetically me and not something I'm not. And I do swear, I don't always like it, because sometimes you're swearing and there's company that really, really frowns upon it. But that's when you should be unapologetically you. That's, if you're you, man, there's only one you. Just be you, but try and do it in a healthy way where it doesn't affect others in a negative way, or infringe upon their freedoms, or their health, whatever. Like I smoke, man. My partner Steve, he doesn't smoke, but he allows me to smoke in the trucks, all day long. And it's cold outside, sometimes hot outside. Roll up that window, basically. And I'm like, dude, I'm smoking. I don't want to do that to you. But that's unfortunately, he's choosing in that moment that, well, it's okay, and I'm like, it's not okay. But dang it, dude, I don't want to make you uncomfortable. And if you're comfortable with the smoke, then I'd rather you be comfortable with, to some degree than, totally driving you nuts because, I've got the window down and I'm smoking. Either which way. There's a lesson in that, I swear. Gosh, man, today has been a very, very enlightening day. So, alright, I'm going to have to give some pre-context to this conversation if I'm going to really let it out there. So, in my ascension so far, see, we come to this world with gifts, preconceived gifts, built in, because those are the gifts that we needed in order to succeed in the life path that we choose before we come here. Because we set all this up, all of our heartache, all of our greatest triumphs, our joys. Excuse me for just a moment. Sorry, I gotta blow start my Buick every few minutes for some reason. Intoxilocks suck, but it's the cost of catching a DUI. Even when you're not DUI, I don't know. I deserved it. I totally did. See, all the dumb shit that I haven't been caught for in my life, that totally led to me driving, with metabolites in my bloodstream. Those metabolites, my life path so far that I chose up into ascension led me to this. Because, see, I chose to do drugs and be an addict instead of deal with my emotions. Okay, so I am clairaudient. I hear spirits talk. I hear the spirit of spirits speak most of all in his messengers, or him/her messengers, because, God's a woman, God's a man too. God, if that's what you want to call the highest divine being, that's fine. It's up to you how you identify with your divinity within you, because the divine exists within this world, yes, but the divine exists within you. The very essence of every other being or every other piece of matter on this face of this planet, there's a holy of holies within every cell. There is a nuclei, or nucleus is singular. So the nuclei within the cells of the body all hold energy. Energy is light. Light is from the divine being. How does light get into the body? Well, through your skin. Your largest organ on your body. The largest organ in your body is on your body. It's your skin, derma. So, God, I'm all over the place. I'm so scatterbrained. So, my day has started out with Spirit came and spoke with me last night in my sleep, and I didn't remember my dream, but I wake up and I start searching things that I have I've never even heard these words. Okay, I have never heard of emotional disregarding, or I don't know, it's an emotional term, but it's a psychological term, and it's way beyond my pay grade, way beyond my understanding, actually, of even self. This has been my problem my entire life. DBT, dialectic behavioral therapy, is totally where Spirit drove me today in my studies. That is treatment for borderline personality disorder. It's treatment for narcissism. It's also treatment for ADHD, because I have emotionally detached myself because of the trauma I have. Literally, the emotional trauma in my life, it has become CPTSD, and now it's chronic within my life, and the ways that I deal with it is literally through addiction. The ways that I dealt with it is avoidance, abandon them before they abandon you, basically. So even though I'm still there in the moment with that person, trying to consciously do everything to keep it together, subconsciously I've already dipped out. Subconsciously I was gone months ago, and it's a defense mechanism to keep from getting hurt, because I was hurt so much as a flippin' child. The very people that are supposed to care for you and love you neglect you and abuse you and hurt you mentally, spiritually, emotionally, physically. They don't even know it. It's for my family, for my case, for me, this is why I am here. I came as a Libra to set some shit right for my bloodline, for my family tree. People that come as Libras need to understand why they came as a Libra. Libras are walking, embodied karma. You are not the scales. You are the fulcrum, the balancing pillar in the center, you are walking justice. That's how all Libras mirror back to people exactly what they need to see. And unfortunately, they don't like what they see most of the time because the truth hurts. People can't handle the truth. These are sayings that are very true, and they're around to this day for a reason. Those sayings didn't just pop up 100 years ago. Those sayings have been around for millennia. So, my problems, I came as a Libra. I am a feminine spirit within a masculine body. Anybody who knows me will tell you that CJ lives within his feminine aspects, that CJ is a nurturing, caring person who is more like a mother type than more like a father type. But I haven't been able to balance my emotions because of my problems, and I'm learning. Father definitely directed me exactly where I needed to be this morning as far as emotional growth and spiritual growth, because all things are connected. One thing permeates the other. If your physical life is shit, your spiritual life is going to be shit too. Do you know why your physical life is shit? Because you're inside your spiritual life, your mental life, your emotional life, one of the four or 3 out of 4, however many, are out of whack, and whatever is out of whack is going to permeate into your other bodies, your emotional body, your physical body, your mental body, your etheric body, your spiritual body, your Merkaba. So there's different levels and different aspects of yourself, but they exist on different planes of existence. Your thought is a body, but it doesn't exist on this physical plane. It exists within the etheric. So it exists on a mental dimension. It exists on a physical dimension. It exists on a spiritual dimension. There are different levels of heaven. There are different sub-levels of physical existence as well, which that's where we get into demonic possession and all that kind of crap. That we're totally not going into demonology right now, okay? We're totally sticking with the emotional, mental body and how it affects the physical body and permeates into your current reality. Sorry, my brain, everything, I have ADHD, in case you didn't notice. I do not take medications for it. I smoke pot. And I don't care who knows I smoke pot. I've always felt that if I have to lie about something, then I should not be doing it. And pot is sociably acceptable nowadays, for the most part. On the other hand, I want to work with children. And so it's kind of frowned upon, but I will never, ever sacrifice my integrity ever again for myself. If I feel that I want to do something, if it's within reason, I will sometimes allow my shadow, hey man, there are worse habits to have in this world. I overcame. I'm going to have to do my testimony. I'm going to have to give my testimony, actually. That's what I should do. But I've overcame, actually, way greater forms of addiction that were way more harmful to me. Way more harmful. It was killing me. And I didn't care. All I needed was to be out of pain. And that's not any way to live. I was addicted to every painkiller imaginable that I could get my hands on, let alone the benzoates that I was addicted to because of my anxiety and my DBT. The lack of DBT, the lack of dealing with my emotions. I don't even know how to label my emotions or to deal with them. I express my emotions in extremes. Because I'm a Libra, I go to the extremes. Balance, people often see us balanced, but literally we're not balanced. We're striving for balance. So at least we're moving in that direction, but some of us aren't even moving in that direction. We're moving in the other direction in order to realize what extreme chaos is, in order to bring some form of stability to that chaos in the end result. Because you know how Solomon lived every will he ever had. He lived every thought that he ever had for self-satisfaction. He lived it. Solomon was the wisest man on the face of the earth. You know why? Because Solomon he lived every desire he ever wanted. And through desire is the beginning of all suffering. Hold on just a second. So if desire is the beginning of all suffering, and Solomon was the wisest man who ever lived, and he lived out every desire he ever had, then what does that mean? Well, it means that Solomon suffered greatly for the wisdom that was gained. He suffered more than anyone on the face of the earth at that time. Because through knowledge, you have to earn knowledge. Knowledge isn't given, it's earned. You have to study. You have to put it into practice. You have to do things for it. So, wisdom is what is birthed out of the understanding of the knowledge, the putting it into use, the practicality of that knowledge and what it does into your day-to-day and how, it changes your life. But, so, normally, I'm losing my thought of trains here. I'm sober right now. I haven't smoked at all. I literally just got off work, and I've been literally conversing with Spirit all day, just trying to figure out, where do I start with this? How do I fix me so my life gets better and that of my children? Because I see where I've passed this on to them. It's a generational curse. I'm here to break it. And that's exactly what I intend to do. It's... wow. So to be a feminine soul within a masculine body is literally, I'm here to rectify karma on my mother's side of the family. That's what it's about. I'm here to rectify things that have happened throughout the ages that have led to this being the generational curse for my family. And I'm breaking the cycle. So, everybody else will benefit, and I'm totally going to blaze a new trail and make a super highway for those who come after me. I hope I make it, if I could make it 10% easier to deal with, and to help others to come through this as well and to make it to the other side, especially other Libras, because Libras are responsible for the work that's coming. The work that's coming, Libras are doing it. If Libra, if you're not doing it, I'm sorely disappointed in you, and I hope that you guys get it together. I'm serious. You have a purpose in this world, and until you fulfill your purpose, you will get stuck here in the soul vacuum. Go into the light. If you're not doing the work, just go ahead and go into the light. Just go ahead. Just go into the light. Have fun. We'll be seeing you. And unfortunately, maybe I'll be back. I don't want to have to come back, but now that I understand my experience, now I'm just like, you know what? I don't care if I come back. I want to help. All I want to do is help get everybody else to this point. Because heaven is now. Heaven is here. Let New Zion descend. Let the capstone come down. Let that New Zion, that New Jerusalem, come down out of heaven and be married with the earth. I want to tell you guys what that means, but I can't. That's for individual knowledge. I'm sorry. When you guys are at that point, or those who express that they would like to know, I will totally I will let you know individually. It's only meant for some, because it could, when the fallen became the fallen, because when the light came, their vessel, they were not strong enough to contain the light, to ascend to that light, so they descended further. They fractured their vessels, shattered. They became broken vessels. The fallen, the Nephal. They became broken vessels. They received the knowledge of good and evil, and did not have the capacity for compassion, love, and things for themselves, let alone other people. So when they received the light, they went straight to the negative. They went straight to the dark because that's what they resonated with. That's what they were inside when they received the knowledge. And man, that's why we're all born stillborn. That's why Christ refers to the people being born on the earth, being born dead. And that you're not really alive until you receive the first death. And that of the first death, the second death has no more hold. Something else to explain, but only for those that are ready. I don't want to break anybody's vessel. When you teach, you're held to a completely different standard. You're now responsible not just for yourself, but every word that comes out of your mouth. And not only were you responsible for that just on your own, you're responsible for every word that comes out of your mouth. Now you're responsible for how they accept it. Or are you? Are you responsible for how they perceive it? Because perception that's truth, that's subjective truth. That's everybody perceives every word, every image, everything in their own way. We always draw up our own assumptions and our own conclusions, and the facts that we don't know, the things that are missing, we fill in the blanks. Our mind does it automatically for us and fills in blanks, and we come up with our own flippant narrative. Literally, that's how we create our own illusions when we don't have enough information to make a choice, which is normally what our government gives us, and religion gives us too. Don't forget that. Religion and government both do that. They only give you enough information to stay hooked, and so that they can flip and drag you along. You're only given enough information to make the now choice, not to make the long distance choice. You guys see how government and everybody keeps you in line too. But it's time to marry your emotional body and your mental, your etheric, your spiritual bodies. It is time that they become one. It's time that the anointed arise. The time is now. The time is now. I hope you guys get it. I hope if you guys have any questions, I hope you guys ask. Don't be afraid to ask questions. The only stupid question is the one you don't ask. Question everything. Question me. Question the crap that comes out of my mouth. I'm not perfect. I have ego. Hell, I have a super ego. Everybody does, but I mean, like, literally, I flip and acknowledge the super ego. And its existence within myself as well. And it's something I'm dealing with, but man, not only do I have an ego, I have a super devil running around, So, just trying to keep that thing under wraps. And, I just want to share the knowledge. I want to exalt others. I don't want to just exalt myself. I know this road, the middle road, is a lonely road. Christ said, don't go left, don't go right, but go down the middle. Take the narrow path, the one in the middle. Because everybody goes right and everybody goes left and nobody goes down the center. It's the path of least resistance. Be like water. Choose to be like water. Water can flow or water can crash. Water chooses the path of least resistance, and wherever it goes, it can cut rock. It carves the deepest of canyons. Water is powerful. The water represents your emotions and esoterics. So what does that mean? We'll have to get into that. But, yeah. Just wanted to get on and just rant and rave and just share what I've been learning today, I guess. Hopefully it helps somebody else out there. God, I hope it does. I hope all my suffering isn't for nothing. I hope somebody can get something from it and their suffering. Bless you all. And may the peace of the divine be with you guys in your homes, always. And if somebody doesn't receive your peace, remember, kick the sand from your shoes, call your peace back to you. Don't forget to call your peace back to you. Because we all forget that. We all leave our peace and we go off pissed off. Call your peace back to you and leave that place. It'll be better for Sodom and Gomorrah than it will be for them. Unfortunately. So, don't worry, pretty little heads. if you got questions, just ask, and we'll take it from there. Bless you all. Take it easy and live life to the fullest.